What's up, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Killing Floor 2. We are once again here with a new map and another weekly mission called Cranium Cracker. Now for this one we need to kill the Zeds with headshots. So I thought for the first 2 to 3 waves, once again it's set to hard and 7 waves by default. So if you go and want to play this online and you're looking in the server browser, make sure you set your game mode to weekly and the difficulty to either hard or any, and the length set it also to any. Just pick weekly and set everything else to any, and then you should be good to go and you will find games. I hope. I didn't try it, but it should work. So this is kind of a how do you get this done in an easy way. Now either support or commando lend themselves very well towards this, and we go with commando this time. Now why support? I guess commando kind of explains itself, but why support? Well, the shotguns are actually very good at getting headshots, all things considered. That was the wrong button. Now why is that? Why are the shotguns so good at getting headshots? Well, because you shoot so many pellets, so you're almost guaranteed to get a headshot at some point if you aim in the general direction of the head. That wasn't a hit. Another thing that I can see with commando is if they actually take damage from body shots. No, we don't. They don't even take damage. So it's not that you just have to finish them off with a headshot, they only take damage from headshots apparently. Now this is going to be interesting for the boss wave.
That's nearly all of them.
And this might cause us to go for a very different setup for the boss wave this time. So we kind of make our way around here, have them run towards us. Now commando is a lot more forgiving in this kind of setup than gunslinger, which was my first thought.
You took some hits there. Patch yourself
Because gunslinger is one of those one-shot classes.
Glad you made it back.
And
Don't bleed on anything.
Why is it so crap still?
whatever, let's play with a bullpup. I don't think I've ever used a bullpup in a video. So let's do this for once. I honestly think
There's Zeds on the scope.
gunslinger, for a player not very accustomed to it, is probably pretty hard to do. So instead what we are doing is we take commando because you can miss a few shots and then you just adjust and go for the head instead because you have a lot of shots to shoot.
Time's almost up. Vite.
The same goes for SWAT, but you just need more headshots because your overall damage is lower. So I really think
Closed.
either commando or support is the easiest way of doing this. Surprisingly, support is very good for headshots. For the previously mentioned reason, well, you just shoot in the general direction and you will get pellets that hit the head.
A decent beginning.
I might even do a video on support, a separate one, where that is kind of showcased. Now this is probably the main issue for most players when doing this with crawlers. God, I hate them. Die! I expected this. I expected to struggle with the crawlers. That's why I picked this perk and I'm still struggling with the crawlers. That's better, I guess. There is one. Ah! I cannot headshot crawlers for the life of me. I already noticed this when the exploding crawlers spawn.
When you're done, I can reopen the
like the elite crawlers. I can never reliably headshot those.
Bosty's on a rampage.
Usually I'm just like, I don't bother and just shoot them somehow, and when they explode and everyone is angry because there's scares everywhere, oh well. I should deal with it, right? Pick up a little bit more ammo. I actually quite like the bullpup, it's not bad, it's just skipping it and going for the AK-12 immediately and using the AR-15 and pistol for
Start to wrap things up.
one or two waves is usually better. Now what did I do here? Yeah, impact rounds. I usually stay with fallback, but don't think I'm gonna use my pistol. It's just the weapon switch speed that you get from fallback is so good, but we only have one weapon I want to use, so
Hurry up. Zeds are getting closer.
there is that. If we had two weapons right now, like the bullpup and I don't know, the scar,
More Zeds on
I would
the
most likely
back to it,
have stayed with fallback because I like the switch speed. But in this case, doesn't matter.
Time for some work, you
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Hey, you're probably enjoying seeing me struggle, right? It's more interesting than just total ownage. I mean, let's be honest, this isn't very hard. You should be going for headshots anyway, so really the only annoyance in this kind of game mode to me is the crawlers. And even the crawlers, I mean, most of them aren't too difficult. You have the time to kill them, but killing those when they're close to you is kind of an issue, so staying mobile, staying on the run is kind of a good idea. And once you do have distance between you and the Z, well, it's really not a huge problem. That was quite the leap from that gore fast. Consider me impressed.
Come see me. The pod's safely open. Nicely done. I'm impressed by your survival.
But to get back to my
instinct out
previous
there.
point, it really shouldn't alter how you play too much,
You earned the money.
because ideally you're going for headshots anyway. That's now an interesting decision we have to make. 1500. Yeah, let's go for the AK.
Rusky bling death.
Final choice.
This is not quite the ideal setup we have yet, but we will soon be there. Because the ideal setup in my mind is going for the stoner. This is once again something where the stoner will shine. Why? Well, you have a ton of shots, I mean, you have a large magazine, a good fire rate. That's all you need. Unfortunately, everything we picked up here was grenades and maybe a little bit of 9mm ammo, which we don't really need. Hey, look, Zed's spawning out there. Zed time is so helpful for this.
I love being subtle.
A decent beginning. Let's call that your
Uh.
warm-up.
Not today. Oh, this is working well, and a Scrake is spawning. This is where I imagine some people might have trouble with Scrakes and Flesh Pounds. Especially because if you go into multiplayer now, you probably won't have the luxury of having a demo save your ass. Especially against Flesh Pounds.
Probably got a close.
Finish the last
And I wouldn't recommend demo, obviously, because it's not really a headshot-centric class, right?
You know me now, don't you?
I mean, you can get headshots with the ammo, and that was terrible aim.
Straight.
Jeez.
This a bit much.
Probably couldn't have done that any worse. Oh well.
Not dead yet.
We are fine.
Make for the pod and gear up.
Let's go to the trader.
That's Greg. Wolf.
And we will
Proud.
stay on commando. Yeah, we will.
Got some Kevlar here.
Let's be honest, it is a very good option.
Bonjour. Come and get your tools
And
for
we'll
trade.
stay on the AK-12 because I like the weapon. It's very reliable, has good damage output. And I don't want to go into purely the LMG, just because it's really not very good against Scrakes and Flashpounds, which we soon will have both of. Hey, look, a collectible. I might do a video on the
Lying about.
spots for these collectibles as well, but there is enough guides of that out there, so I don't think that's necessary.
Time's up. Go kill some
Now,
zombies.
if you do go online, are there any specific maps that are relatively simple for this specific weekly challenge? Well, the obvious one comes to mind, the obvious multiplayer map that makes things easier, Containment Station. Why? It's flat, you have long sight lines, you see everything coming a mile away, you can line up headshots.
But many Zeds remain.
It just perfectly caters towards this type of playstyle. Now another totally underrated thing about Commando is, as we kill that Scrake, another totally underrated thing is you can see stalkers coming. Now that is a cool feature in the regular game as well, but it does get even better if you are looking at this kind of challenge. Why? Well, once crawlers are close to you, it actually becomes, as we decap that flesh pound, it actually becomes pretty darn difficult to headshot them. Because they are just evading and dancing and doing their ninja moves.
That's nice. You got your attention there.
So quickly getting headshots on them from a distance becomes a lot more important, and that's where Commando shines once again. And being able to spot them from afar, take them out from afar before they start all their moves. So that is another point you should keep in mind. And we should have enough money now to get a second weapon, I think.
Glad you made it back.
I'm a bit torn between the Scar and the Stoner.
There's Zeds on the scope.
I just don't think, since we have the AK-12, that we need the Scar. Now I'll go back to fallback, because we really don't need impact rounds. I mean, this is hard difficulty, it's not like there is a huge challenge and we need to push back Scrakes or anything.
Last chance. I have to power down the pod.
What are other things that I can recommend here? Well, if you are a high-level sharpshooter,
Wow, talk about not cutting edge.
Break time's over.
maybe, just maybe, this is the one time that it is acceptable to use the auto-aim on the railgun. Maybe. The only other time I've actually used that, and this might sound funny, but that is the only other time that, or the only actual time that I have used the auto-aim on the railgun was to kill the gas crawlers. Like, I saw gas crawlers coming and I did the auto-aim for the headshots. And it was actually really helpful. Like, this might sound crazy, I know, but try it once or twice. I mean, obviously it's kind of a waste of ammo, but if you do have the ammo, that is actually not too bad of an idea.
Got your attention, eh?
And here you can see why this thing is as good as it is, I mean. See, you don't need to aim to get headshots. Who's to say you need aim to get headshots? Just do this instead. See, that'll work. Hey, look, a flesh pound. And it's dead. God, this thing is... It's like this was built for this mission. And people say this weapon is shit. I don't get that. Like, look at how you can lay into heads. I mean... It's super stable, it barely has any recoil on commando. If you use this off perk, you're crazy. But again, it barely has any recoil. It has a crazy fire rate. You can just lay shots into heads of all the trash. And once you do get anything bigger, you either pick your SCAR or your AK or whatever you have. And you use that, and in a regular game you even have high explosive grenades and they do insane damage to flesh pounds, so... I don't get the issue, but maybe that's just me.
Final choices, people.
Time and time again I read this weapon is useless. Time and time again I disagree. Now, I don't think it's great or super strong or anything, but we don't need that. We don't want that. And I expected it to be around this level of strength when they said they will add an They will add an LMG. When they said that, it was to be expected it would be around this strength. Why? Well, it has a ton of shots. It was always going to be a balance problem with such a weapon.
Why is this old crap still lying about?
So it's kind of understandable they went this route with the lower damage. I mean, take realism aside, we kind of need to balance the weapons rather than make them realistic, right? As we pile up headshots here. I don't really want to take the Scrake yet, we have time, it doesn't auto-rage like a flesh pound, so... can just save ourselves the effort. Oh, there's a flesh pound. That we raged unnecessarily, but I like set time. Where is it? And there goes his head. So one flesh pound down. That was a cool head hit, I guess. With the knife there. Oh, that is fantastic. Set time with this weapon is hilarious. There goes the second flesh pound. I'm loving this. This weapon is so underrated. I mean, even if it's not like the strongest thing in the game, like, look at how much fun you can have with it, bro. Ouch.
Happiness is, let's say.
Please go away, Gorefiend, I don't like you. There was no reason to hit me. Didn't do anything to you. Well, I took your head off, but like, apart from that. Hey! I only killed your friend. Stop being so aggro.
That's nice.
I mean, on paper, this probably looks more difficult than
We've got a side ready.
the exploding Zeds one. But honestly, this is a lot easier than the exploding Zeds one, because this can't really harm you. It might take a little bit longer until you headshot everyone, but apart from it, like, they are not very dangerous. I mean, they can't really do anything to you. So we take down another Scrake. And this is where it gets interesting, and I think we... What do we go for here? I don't even know. Do we stay on... Yeah, we stay on Commando. I think that's a great idea, actually. We might get the Scarbo. Yeah, we already have a faster weapon switch, so that's alright.
Come and get your tools and
Ah,
go.
the AK-12. I do have a sweet spot for the AK-12, so I kinda wanted to keep it, but... I think the Scar is a good idea as well, as I do like that weapon as well. I'm just a sucker for Commando anyway, I mean... If you've been following my channel just a little bit, you probably know, well... I do like my Commando.
Zeds are getting closer.
I do like Commando a lot.
Break time's over. Get
I
back to
wonder
work. More Zeds
how
inbound.
well this works against the boss. And we get Hans, that's not what I wanted.
What?
Well, I guess we'll make this work as well, right?
I shall cause you pain.
I guess against Hans you might still go Eviscerator, but... I don't know. Holy shit! What?
Of these little attacks, here is something more to think about.
What?
Fine. I shall use you for my tests instead.
Oh my! Oh my!
Now you shrine can face new attacks.
Holy shit! What?
Just take. Here is something more to think
Well, I'm not sure what to make of this, but this I did not expect as he gets a heal in finally.
Let's see how brave you are.
Look at this! What? I did not expect that. Okay. I mean, it is only hard difficulty, so that probably has a lot to do with it, but still. That was a lot cleaner than I expected. I hope this kind of helps you finish this. That should make things relatively easy for you, and it is rather player friendly with Commando, just because you can spam it if necessary. Hope you enjoyed watching it, hope you can do this too and unlock, I think it's a Centerfire skin you get for this. So until next time, farewell.